And we are underway. Ghostcast, second round action. The Yale Bulldogs, the 12 seed in the South, taking on the Baylor Bears. And Yale getting here by beating Michigan, then Marquette. There's a look at the starting lineups for both teams. We'll focus in on the point guards running these two teams. We got Bruner and Mitchell. Bruner will be the distributor. Mitchell on the other side, he will be the guy that they will look for some scoring from that point guard position. And you look at the keys to the game or the tempo for tonight. Defense and patience if you're the Bulldogs, both on offense and defense, speaking of that patience. And on the other side, you got to know your role if you are the Baylor Bears, because you are the number 1 seed. And got to love the throwback shorts for this 2020 tournament. Somewhat of a tribute to Kobe Bryant. Ball is in the air, and the Bears control the opening tip. Ball up top as they look to set their offense. And this Yale defense did a great job against Michigan. Baylor Bears are on the board first. Relatively quick on the shot clock and get the ball down low for an easy baseline jumper. Yale typically will take their time, but not this time, and the three-point bucket knocked down by the Bulldogs. Ball inside, now back out to the top. Controlling will be Butler. Now hands off to Mitchell. Tribute to Donovan Mitchell wearing the number 45. Mitchell outside, back to the top of the key. Left side elbow. Looking for a drive. That Yale defense, you see why they are so good and why they frustrate teams, because they are so sound on defense. And good defensive possession that time for Yale. Well, turnover by the Bulldogs. We'll see if the Bears can capitalize, and you got to be able to convert in transition. And Yale survives a scare there. We certainly could have given up that bucket. As mentioned, for the Baylor Bears, you want to establish who you are. Make sure that Yale knows, we get that you beat the number 5 seed Michigan, but you're not going to come in here and think you can beat the number 1 seed in the South. Speaking of the Baylor Bears, ball inside, quick turnaround jump shot as the clock is running down. And Yale's got a 5-2 early lead. Defense setting up again. And now the Bears will try to get something done. Low post action, but good defense. Double team down low. Ball is in and out. 3-point attempt from the Bears. Yale will bring the ball across center court. Top of the key. Working the ball around the outside. These teams that come out of the Ivy League, very disciplined. Nice move right there by Atkinson. And Atkinson goes in for the lay-in, but can't get it to drop. And now the Bears try to find maybe a little rhythm on offense, and so far have not been able to find it and looked out of sorts to a degree, and give credit to that Yale defense. Another shot missed. Shooting percentage well in favor of the Bulldogs, and they connect again. Monroe's got a couple of points to start things off. Behind the back dribble by Mitchell. Gets to the outside. Look at this suffocating defense by Yale. How about that? A 5-second defense call. Great job by Yale as they are covering right now the Bears like a blanket. They'll get the turnover on the violation and have an opportunity to build on their lead, but the turnover, we'll see if the Bears can capitalize. Ball is outside, now inside, and wait and see what the call is. Not sure if he was shooting The ball dropped, so they will give the points to the Baylor Bears. You saw the shooting percentage, atrocious really at this point for the number 1 seed, as you get another bucket from the Yale Bulldogs. And Yale was at 75% prior to that. They will up their percentage. And again, a missed shot by Baylor. And early indication, at least, as you're watching this game and you're thinking, man, the Bears don't look comfortable for a number 1 seed going against a number 12 seed. And sometimes that can happen. Get a little nervous that you might be playing against Cinderella, especially knowing that this Yale squad beat Michigan in the first round. They were expected to compete, but certainly I don't think to this level. And finally, the Bears get another basket, 11-6, 5-point lead for Yale. Just about halfway through this first half, and you would think with all the turnovers by Yale, there's no way they could be up by 5, but that is the case. Drive by Butler. Outside, long shot, no good. And Yale will try to run. Get the ball to the other side of the court and get things set up. Atkinson working the ball. He'll kick it out top. Now Bruner. Talked about Bruner needing to be the facilitator. He's got good size for a point guard, but the important thing for him will be in this game to facilitate and get other guys involved, looking for a little low post action, shot clock running down, and that one will drop. And how about Atkinson with another bucket? That's a couple of late clock shots by Atkinson that have converted, and it's a 7-point lead for the number 12 seed Bulldogs, who are looking for another upset, hoping to advance to the next round here on Ghostcast. Just a reminder, if you're tuned into this game and watching, download that Ghostcast app or tune in on social media, looking for Ghostcasters to join our team and call some games, have a little fun with it. We'll be posting tutorials here shortly as Ghostcast starts to make an impact on how you consume your games. Of course, with the coronavirus and everybody looking for some sports, we're happy to bring you simulated games from the tournament in hopes that you'll enjoy what you're seeing and want to be part of it. And we welcome all voices here on Ghostcast. Yale now, after the 2 free throws from Baylor, with a 13-9 lead, and ball out wide, and nice drive, but kicks it back out. Had a wide open shot, short clock again, and the turnover. Good defense that time by Baylor. You almost think that those free throws might have settled the Bears down. And just as I say that, they turn the ball over, and now here comes Yale. Yale hanging on to a 4-point lead. The ball goes outside, 3-point attempt. Thought about, not take it. And now the drive, and goes in, and you say that foul took place prior to the shot, and get a few substitutions coming back in as Gillespie re-enters the game for the Baylor Bears, and Swain at the line. An opportunity at this point for the Bulldogs maybe to take a breath. They lead by 7. And for the Bulldogs, they've got to get things figured out here. The last thing they want to do is to go into halftime trailing the number 12 seed. But that's what's going on right now here at the Georgia Dome. Near turnover right there. steal by Yale, and this time they do get the deflection, bringing the ball up court, an opportunity to build on their lead. With 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half, and careless with the ball, I think it may have gotten knocked out of bounds. We'll see what the call was. Knocked out of bounds by Baylor, and so Yale will retain possession. Bulldogs able to get the ball in. Wide open three-point attempt, and that is good. And it's a 10-point lead, double digits now. And Yale getting sized for a Cinderella slipper at this point. Nice drive. That could have been an offensive foul, but on the outlet pass, nice job by the Bears to step in and pick that one off and get another opportunity. Mitchell working it out up top. Great ball handler. Talked about the importance of Mitchell needing to score. Really, they need anybody to score right now for the Baylor Bears. And they can't even connect from close range. If you were to just tune into this game and weren't sure of what the seeding was, you would assume that it was the Bears that were the 12 seed with Yale as the team that won close to 30 games. Oh, inside. How do you miss that shot? That could have really broken this thing open and almost ensured that Yale would have the halftime lead. It still looks that way at this point. That time, Vital with the drive and the bucket. And the Bears will try to chip away at this thing, down low, post position, kick it back out to the top for Yale. And now the drive down the middle, kick to the outside, three-point shot is up but off the rim. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Just over 30 seconds to go in the first half of this game, and they're trailing by 8. And that shot was blocked, but I think they are going to call a foul against the Bulldogs. Monroe with the foul, and that will put Baylor at the line. And these free throws have been critical for the Bears as they've tried to settle down and maybe reestablish some kind of rhythm. There's a look at the foul situation for both teams. And so a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left to go in the first half of this game. And the Yale Bulldogs lead the Baylor Bears. Nice pass and a three-point shot. That looked like a long two off the rim. And ill-advised, really. You didn't want to give the Bears another possession, but they got one and then could not convert and now turn the ball over. And the Bears have one last chance maybe to get on the board before halftime. The jump shot is up and good. Our halftime score, a 6-point lead for the Yale Bulldogs, and the under Bulldogs leading this one at halftime by 6. And taking a look at the set the tempo keys to the game. We talked about defense and patience for the Bulldogs. Certainly we have seen that. And you take a look at the statistical overview and everything with the exception of the turnovers in favor of the Bulldogs. Just think if they didn't have those 4 turnovers and at the same time there weren't a whole lot of points off turnovers, and the Bears were just unable to take advantage. And a loose ball deflected, and Yale maintains possession. That's Bruner working it out top. He'll try to kick it inside. Monroe back out to the wing, double team. And it's obvious that there was a lot of talk about defense in that Baylor locker room, and they come out on this possession with the clamps on. That ball deflected out of bounds, and Yale maintains possession, short shot clock, 6-5 and counting. And that shot is off, short clock shot, and 6-point lead. We'll see if the Bears can figure things out here in the second half. They came out with a good defensive possession, and now a nice shot to start off the second half. They cut the lead to 4. Important possession now from Yale. You see the difference in defense, and how about that? They force Yale into a over and back half-court violation. So, first possession, defense, got them on a short clock. Second possession, defense with an over and back. And you can see the commitment from the Bulldogs here in the second half for the defensive side of the ball. Great drive, baseline, but the ball in and out. And Yale has an opportunity. There's that old saying, you got to play to win. You can't play not to lose. And if you're Yale right now, you can't be hanging on to a 4-point lead and just hoping with 8.5 minutes left to go. And they turn the ball over, and that time, good foul by Gabadon, and he will send Gillespie to the line, but that was almost a sure dunk, maybe one of those break the backboard dunks as Gillespie went in. Check that, it'll be Vital at the line. And that shot is off. Mentioned good foul. Vital just over 50% from the line, so we'll see if he stays true to his statistics, and he does. Misses the first one, makes the second one, and now the Bulldogs with some full court pressure. See if Yale is disciplined enough to pass out of it, and no, they are not. Careless pass through the trap, and the Bulldogs are having trouble now with their offense trying to get established, and the Bears have been vicious on defense, to say the least, here in the second half. Giving up just 1 point on a free throw. And now have an opportunity to knock down some shots. And again, Baylor, not the greatest of free throw shooting teams. Their statistics just over 60% as a team. And Mitchell will connect on the second one. And excuse me, I misspoke. Yale has been scoreless here in the second half, thanks in large part to that Bears defense. And we'll see if they can pass out of it this time, and they do. Can't get frazzled, but how about that? You break the press, and a lot of times you break the press and you have a wide open path to the basket, and that time they got it. Circus shot on the other end, and the Baylor Bears answer. So it's a 2-point lead for Yale. And you could say that they are hanging on to that lead at the moment. Pressure is off for Baylor. No full court pressure that time. And allowed Yale to bring the ball across the timeline uncontested. And now important possession for Yale. 3-point attempt is up and good. They'll give them 2 on that. Long 2, 23-19. And nice cut to the basket and a pass inside. But can't convert on the bucket right there at the rim. Now Yale will try to get established. You gotta remember who they are. Talked about can't be careless with the ball, and this is going all the way in for the bucket. It's a 2-point game, and you're starting to feel the momentum shift now for the Baylor Bears. It's a pro-Baylor crowd. You can hear the chants here at the Georgia Dome. And that's the last thing you want if you're Yale, is to get the crowd behind the opposing team and the number 1 seed. And another easy bucket inside for Yale. So they build that lead back up to 4. That was an important possession. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, or excuse me, the second half. So this game. Nice mid-range shot that time, and a little bit of pressure provided as the ball comes across midcourt. 2-point lead for the Yale Bulldogs. Patience is a virtue. If you're Yale, they get the ball inside, but eat up some of this clock unless you have an opportunity at the bucket like that, but you got to make those shots. And an opportunity here to take the lead, and just off on the 3-point attempt for the Bulldogs. For the Bears. So now holding the ball up top is Yale. That's Swain. And he'll take his time until they start to give him the count and put the ball on the ground. And now you can sense that maybe the Bulldogs holding for a good shot. That was a great shot, wide open, long 2, but no good. And now here comes the Baylor Bears and an opportunity to tie this thing or take the lead with a 3-point conversion. And turnaround jump shot was blocked, but now we've got a tie game at 25 apiece, and you start to feel a sense of pressure, if not panic, by Yale. Can they keep their composure in a situation like this, regain the lead, or is this where the tidal wave just kind of takes over? Wide open 3-point shot not taken by Swain. He'll kick it back out top to Gavanon. Around the outside, and now inside, post position, shot clock running down. And Atkinson has knocked down a few, and then this time Bruner with the turnaround jump shot, no good. And here come the Baylor Bears. Looking for a 3 in transition, don't take it, but how about that? Cutting to the basket, nice pass inside, and the hammer, and that's the way to take the lead if you're the number 1 seed. And now, for Yale, this is a critical possession. Good defense by the Bulldogs. We've seen that trap now. Seen that defense from the Bulldog, or from the Bears here in the second half. They came out, recommitted to defense. It took some time for them to get to a point where they were back on top, but now they're there, and can they hold on to this lead? Get the sense that they're ready to put the pedal to the metal and close this thing out here at the Georgia Dome. Careless with the ball, but knocked back into the hands of the Bears. They'll keep possession. Shot clock actually reset after that. I don't know if there's going to be some complaints coming from that Yale bench about whether or not they should have gotten a reset shot clock. Either way, Mitchell will go to the line for free throws here. First free throw is good, and the Baylor lead continues to grow. Pressure again. Pass back and right into the trap. You see, this is a wise timeout taken by the Bulldogs. You were up double digits at one point in this game, and of course, understanding where Yale is coming from is that 12 seed. They've battled. And if anybody is trying to manage fatigue at this point in the tournament, it would be the Bulldogs, having that battle in the first round against the 5th seed, which was Michigan. So their path to this point certainly was not easy. A lot of emotional energy probably expended there in the first half as they took that 10-point lead. But it's really been this Bears defense in the second half that has been suffocating. Not sure if they're going to give Gavanon the bucket on that or not. Check that, as Bruner will be at the line. So they'll say the foul came prior to, if I'm not mistaken. No, that will be the traditional hard-earned and one. three-point play, and it's a 2-point game now. That was a huge possession for Yale as we are at the 3-minute mark in the second half. And now you're starting to see a little more fouling going on, guys getting aggressive on defense, maybe a little careless and maybe to a degree desperate as Mitchell is at the line. Been compared to Donovan Mitchell in a lot of ways, in part because he wears that same number. Interestingly enough, he mentions Donovan as his hero, a guy that he looks up to and wants to be like. He's got to be able to make free throws if he wants to continue to be like Donnie. So 2 missed free throws, an opportunity now for Yale to tie this game or take the lead. Can they be patient and withstand this tough Baylor defense? 2.5 minutes to play. Nice shot inside, and the bucket counts. And Yale has tied this game up. And now some pressure for the Bears, and a steal and a dunk on the other side. I got to see that again. How about the turnover? And this is the way you do it. And the Bulldogs have reclaimed the lead here with just over 2 minutes to play. Wide open shot inside, off the rim, but rebounded by the Bears. And the Bears maintain possession, have a new clock, and then turn the ball over. Yale, will they be careful with this possession, or will they try to continue to build on this lead? Turn the ball over, coming the other way. You got to get back on defense. Nice passing in transition. And they're going to count it plus the foul. So Teague on the line now. Baylor struggled from the free throw line. Mentioned their numbers not good. Stand corrected. That was a shooting foul. Did not get the bucket. So one more shot coming for Teague. Those were important free throws there to tie the game up with 1:44. Now the pressure returns from the Bears. That half-court press. And nice job dribbling out of the trap for the Bulldogs. 1.5 minutes left to go in this one. We are tied at 32. Yale will take their time in the possession, looking for the good shot. And as the shot clock winds down, sometimes you're going to have to take the best shot available. That time they get it, rolls off the rim, and the Bears will have the possession. And this will take us under a minute in this matchup here on Ghostcast between the Bears and the Bulldogs. Nice move inside, and that ball is off. Missed opportunity for Yale. After the missed layup, Bears got the rebound back. Nice pass inside this time for the Bulldogs, and working outside is Swain. And Swain cannot convert. And that was a huge missed opportunity. That time, offensive foul, and Yale will have the ball back. So the Bulldogs with 35 seconds. They'll take the timeout. Saw the clock, 35 on the game clock, 35 on the possession clock. Got to imagine the conversation in this huddle right now is about patience. Patience and getting the right shot. The good thing for Yale is that they've been battle-tested to this point. Can't say enough about that win over Michigan in the first round, how big that was for a team who at this point has an opportunity to tie this one or take the lead. Going up against the number 1 seed, already knocked off number 5. Ball moving around the outside. Bears doing a great job defensively. Won't let anybody inside. Ball almost turned over. Reclaimed by Yale. The defense just phenomenal right now from the Bears. Double team inside. They kick the ball out, but the ball is intercepted, and Atkinson has to foul. And if you're going to play the foul game, you got to find a way to get up there and get the fouls early, but not in time. And how about that? Safe to say the Baylor Bears survived this one. And the Bulldogs, they gave it their all in this tournament. Ghostcast, happy to bring you college basketball when there is none. And this is where you find it on Ghostcast. 34-32 the final score as Baylor advances.